Hello bibliophiles, my name is Tanvi Dikshit. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and before I get into the video, please hit the subscribe button. It will really help my channel, and thank you for all the support you've shown my channel already. For today's book review, I'm going to be talking about The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. Now, before I start with the review, let me tell you that today's review is totally unplanned. I was actually planning to shoot a completely different book review today, but after I got up in the morning, I was actually doing one of the practices from this book, and then I realized that I have actually been using this book for so many years, but I've never thought of reviewing it. So I thought, why not? That's why I'm doing this video. I'm just going to be talking about it. I have no script prepared. Hope this goes well. Let me start off by telling you a little bit about the author, Rhonda Byrne. Rhonda Byrne is an Australian television writer and producer. She's 73 years old, and she's best known for her book, The Secret. She went on to also write The Power, The Hero, and a couple of more other books, but all of her books revolve around the theme of the law of attraction. Coming to The Magic. Now, I don't know if any of you have read The Secret, but The Magic is pretty much based on the same law, the law of attraction, that has been explained in the book The Secret. Let me tell you quickly what Rhonda Byrne means when she talks about the law of attraction. She explains in her book The Secret that the secret to attracting love, abundance, riches, success, achievement, good health, good family life, all of these positive things in life is gratitude. She talks about the power of gratitude in attracting the dream life that you want, and she believes that the more gratitude you give out, the more abundance and happiness and joy you receive in life. She talks about the law of attraction, in which she says like attracts like. Now, if you're going to think about it from a scientific perspective, which I did initially, these books come across as a little bit juvenile because she talks about things in a very non-scientific way that doesn't really appeal to your rational scientific mind. And me being a science student, I really judged these books initially. But if you keep that scientific rational part of your brain aside, and if you completely look at these books from a more feeling and emotional kind of way, trust me, try to do that. It will really help you out and give you a lot of happiness. So The Magic is kind of like a sequel to The Secret, in the sense that it talks about the law of attraction, but in a very practical way. So what The Magic does is basically teaches you the practice of giving gratitude, of incorporating the act of gratitude in your life, but in a very practical, doable, user-friendly kind of way. So the book is divided into different chapters. It's sort of like a 28-day program. The chapters are divided from day 1 to day 28, and each chapter gives you a daily practice that you can do to increase the gratitude and hence the abundance in your life. I'm going to take you through a few of these practices. So basically, the first practice is, of course, count your blessings, where you actually learn how to give gratitude for the things that you've already been blessed with. The second practice for day 2 is the magic rock, where she asks you to keep a rock with you that you'll hold every day in your hand while you say a few words of gratitude towards the things that you have in your life. So basically, throughout this practice, you're going to be writing 10 things that you're grateful for every day at the end of every day. And then there are these different tiny practices that you do on the daily. The practices kind of cover different topics. So there are practices about your health. There are practices to increase your money, the abundance, wealth basically in life. There are practices to heal your relationships, to attract the perfect partner. There are practices to pull yourself out of negativity. There are practices to just simply make you feel good and joyous. So yeah, they are very doable practices. It simply takes probably 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes every day, to go ahead and do these practices. I'm going to tell you a few of my favorite practices from the book. The magical way out of negativity is one such practice. So in this practice, if there's a situation in your life that you're feeling very negatively about, something bad has happened, something that's making you really unhappy, so you take that situation and you list down 10 things that you're grateful about in that situation. That kind of helps you put a very positive spin on that particular negative situation, and it gives you a different perspective to look at it. So there's another practice, which is the day 8 practice. It's called the magic ingredient. So in this practice, all the meals that you eat during the day, your breakfast, lunch, dinner, coffee, whatever, what you do is before you consume your meal, you kind of imagine that you're sprinkling your food with magic dust and you say thank you for the meal. Now, most of our religions actually teach you to, give gratitude for the meal that you're about to have, because it's such a blessing to have food on your plate, because there's so many people in the world who don't even have that. So this practice kind of makes you do that and makes you appreciate the fact that you've been blessed with a plate full of clean, hygienic food multiple times a day. And I think I really love that, because it kind of makes you appreciate a thing in life that you kind of take for granted. There's another practice called magical footsteps, where you take 100 footsteps at any point during the day, and with every footstep you take, you say the words thank you, thank you, thank you. Why I feel like I keep going back to this book, so initially a friend of mine recommended this book to me, and I was kind of not in the best headspace at that time. I really needed something that is going to make me feel a little positive, a little happier. That is when I picked up this book, and I ended up doing the 28-day practice all throughout. And honestly, it really made me feel great. I don't know if it really transforms your life, if it really magically, brings abundance or growth or achievement. I honestly don't know any of that, but all I know is if I was having a shitty day, this book would at least make me feel happy for an hour. It would put a smile on my face, at least for the time that I was doing these gratitude practices. It really, if you're doing gratitude writing at night before you sleep, you wake up in a better mood in the morning. If you do this the first thing in the morning, your day starts off on like a very nice and happy note. And I think that's why I think whenever I'm like going through phases which are stressful, where I'm feeling a little lost, I kind of keep gravitating back towards this book. Now the 28-day practice I did only once, but what I now do is whenever I'm feeling a certain kind of way, I go back to individual practices. So of course, I suggest that if it's the first time you're reading this book, you should do the 28-day practice the way it is. But eventually after that, like for example, you're feeling very negatively about something, then you just do the magical way out of negativity practice. Or if you're falling sick constantly, then you do the magic health practice. Or if you're struggling with your finances, then you do the money magic or the magical check practice. So you can pick and choose the practices which are kind of like tailored towards the issue that you're facing at that moment. You can, keep going back to the book whenever you feel you need to go back to it. I feel like even though I judged it so much initially, why this book is so special to me is because it helped so many people who are very close to me. Like I know this for a fact that my father does gratitude writing almost every morning, and it has really helped him out through a few rough patches in his life. I have a very interesting story. So this friend of mine, she was going through a pretty tough phase in her life, in the sense that she wanted to really find love, she wanted to find a partner, she wanted to settle down, get married and all of that, and somehow that was not happening for her. Things would just go wrong, or like something or the other would not work out, and she was really not in a good headspace. So one of her friends recommended this book to her, and her friend told her that, you know what, whatever you want in your perfect partner, just make a list, okay? Write in as much detail as you can about like how he should be, and how what all qualities he should have, how he should make you feel, all of that. She just like write this down completely on a piece of paper, describe your perfect partner, the perfect love of your life, as extensively and as much in detail as you can, and then after you do that, just keep that paper away, never look at it again. So she did that, and this was a long time back. And so this friend of mine got married last year, and this one fine day, I think it was after her engagement or after her marriage, she called me, okay, and she's like, listen, I have to tell you something. So I said, what? She's like, this is really freaky. And I said, okay, what? So she's like, I found this piece of paper in one of my files or closet or something like that, and she's like, I pulled it out, and then I remembered that, okay, you know what, I had done this practice when I was like not going through a great phase in my life. And she's like, I pulled out the paper and I read out what all I had written, and she's like, that paper was literally like check everything how her current husband is. So she literally feels like she manifested the perfect partner for herself, and I think that's so beautiful. I mean, I know again your rational brain is not really going to allow you to think that you can manifest things, because you feel like you have to work hard and have a plan and do things in a certain way, have a certain strategy, only then you can achieve certain things. I mean, I know a lot of, like, my scientific brain still has a tough time relating to these practices a lot of times, because, you know, as a science student, you're trained that, you know, you have to have a strategy, you have to design an experiment to get a certain result, and like you cannot just keep blind faith in things like manifestation. But I honestly feel like if believing in something silly is going to bring a smile to your face, is going to at least make you happy for the day, what's the harm in doing that? And that's why I think I keep going back to this book, because I feel like even if, let's say, you don't manifest your dream partner, you don't manifest your dream life, I assure you that you'll at least have 28 days which will make you feel really, really, really good about yourself, about your life, about the people around you. It'll kind of instill this sense of gratitude in you, where you'll start saying thank you to small things that you would not appreciate normally, for your parents, for the food that you eat, for the clothes that you wear, for the clean water that you get, for the plants that you have in your home, just simple things like that. And I think that goes a long way. I honestly don't want to rate this book, because it does not really fit into the category of literature as such for me. It's more like a guide or a handbook on how you can, you know, make yourself feel a little chipper. But yeah, I think for me this book is very special, and I want that if any of you is not going through a very great phase of their life, if you're not in a good place mentally, this is something that is a great pick-me-up. So yeah, that was my review of The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. If you're somebody who's not read anything written by Rhonda Byrne and you just have time to read one book, I would recommend that you skip The Secret and go to The Magic straight. Reason being that Secret is also a great book. She explains the concept of the law of attraction in a lot more detail with stories and examples. But I feel like when it comes to practical applications, Secret doesn't do as great a job as The Magic does. Secret is more about just understanding the idea and the thought process behind using the law of attraction, but The Magic is really a guide to how you apply it in your daily life. So if you're only looking to read one book by Rhonda Byrne, The Magic it is. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment, let me know if you've read or used any of her books, and drop a comment, let me know which other reviews you would want me to do. Until then, please hit the subscribe button. Happy reading.